Hello to you, oh my Mitrandil and Bratrandil. So I'm going to be very quick today. What I did today, I just came out of the gym, did my arms workout, biceps, triceps, and I was proud of myself for running 1 mile in 6 minutes and 51 seconds. That's because the first 400 meters I ran at 18 kilometers per hour. So as I expected, the first 400 meters, if you speed it up, then you will reach a mile faster. So, what's the news for today? I did a lot of trading and I lost a lot of money on stocks, but I didn't lose any money on forex. So, as always, forex seems to be very stable, and you don't tend to lose a lot of money. Very predictable and stable. If there's a trend, then it keeps going in the same direction. But stocks, it seems to be very unpredictable. For example, I put some money on Tesla today. Tesla was shooting up from 205 to 212 or something, and when it reached 212, I put some money in it, and immediately it started falling down. So it stopped. Stop loss. I got the basically loss of $400 because of the stop loss, and yeah, if it had just gone $1 higher, I would have got for almost $200 or $300 profit. So that's the problem with stocks. I'm really losing a lot of money on stocks. So on my stock account, I'm 96,500 or something, and on my forex account now I am 100,000 plus 150 or 200, something like that. So I'm not losing any money on forex. I'm losing a lot of money on stocks. So that's because stocks give you a lot of emotional, temptations, because stocks seem to go up very fast, and there seem to be a lot of things happening with stocks. So you tend to jump into the trades very fast, very much faster. Whereas forex seem to be very boring kind of movements. So you know what's going to happen. So it's very boring. Nothing much to be really surprised about. So if there's a trend, you just put the money in and you just get the profit. Simple as that. So I think in terms of finance, in the world of finance, being boring is a much better option than being exciting and making lots of money. So that's the thing with finance. Be boring, just like, for example, all the finance experts, accountants, wearing glasses and not become emotional. That's why the people in the elite people, the people with a lot of money, they hate emotions. They always talk about bonds and things like that, bonds and treasuries and interest rates and things like that, which are very simple and boring. And whereas the immature people talk about Tesla and Tesla to the moon and Baba to the moon and things like that. So that's my lessons with stocks today. I had a very bad day with stocks, I would say. Not very bad. Maybe I lost around $500, but still two more trades are stuck in the pipeline. Tomorrow, two more German stocks are going to open up, and I think I'll lose money on them as well, around $200. So, and I also got I think a free 20,000 account for Sabio for just signing a survey, replying to a survey they just provided. So that's interesting. And I also saw on Sabio account on Instagram that they have now they will allow weekend trades, which means you don't have to close your trades by the Friday, and you can keep your week trades going till through the weekend, which means you can start the trades on Monday. So that's an amazing news. If that is present in Sabio, that's going to be really what I was looking for, and I would probably make a lot of money with that kind of setup, because I'm used to a slightly long term, and I can't do things on the same day or 1 hour, 2 hours. I can't do that. So what else is the news? The other news is that I already signed the contract for the Reading job, which is the casino gambling company, and that's because I expected this Oxford job to send me an offer letter today, but they didn't send me an offer letter, and I was really delaying the contract signing, because the contract was sent to me on 28th of July, and it was dated as 28th of July, and today is 28th of June, and today is 1st of July. So I signed the contract on or today, which means 2 working days delay. I mean 1 working day. I mean I did it in 2 working days, but I didn't want to spend too much time delaying them, and I think it creates some kind of negative atmosphere, negative vibe. Like why they might be thinking, why is he delaying or things like that. So even if I have to ditch one of the jobs, I will probably already sign the contracts, and then before the job I'll have to say I'm not going to take this job, something like that. So just by signing a contract doesn't mean you have to go and if you don't show up for the job, that automatically terminates the contract. So that's it. So that's something I've done in the past, and I've been I mean the guy who actually gave me the job was someone in America, and he already gave me a job for a research position in the University of Michigan, and he already had started the process for H1B visa processing. So I think he had already spent around $300 on the application for my H1B visa, and then I said no, I'm not interested. In fact, I could have got the H1B visa, and by now I could have easily been an American citizen. So that happened in 2012, and instead of going to America, I actually ended up going to Cambridge, and that actually I think he informed all the people in Cambridge as well, and all the other university people. So it kind of became a slightly embarrassing thing for me, because they knew that what I was doing, so what I did. So I think it kind of created a negative reputation for me, but anyway, I didn't have such a great reputation to begin with. I mean, you can go to Cambridge, but it doesn't mean that you're going to be a professor someday, because a lot of people go to Cambridge and end up being homeless sometimes. There's a lot of people on YouTube, you can see them. They have been working in Cambridge. There's a lady who was a researcher in Cambridge or something, and then she ended up being homeless or something like that. Some of them also have mental illness and things like that. So yeah, it's a pretty much my career is a big loss. Somehow I have lost my time, lost all my efforts, almost 10 or 15 years doing a PhD, and now starting a new career in software development. So it's a terrible waste of energy, but I guess I had my own goals to achieve, which is to, I guess, come to travel the world. Or maybe I was in Singapore first, where I did my PhD, which was already a big mistake. Then I came to the UK, so I spent a few years doing research jobs, because I already had a PhD. So then I didn't know what to do, because the research jobs were not becoming consistent after all. Later on, the research jobs were not coming anymore because of the COVID thing. I had a lot of interviews, but COVID actually destroyed all my chances of getting interviews, of getting jobs. I had almost 10 interviews on Zoom, and on Zoom I don't ever do well. I mean, I'm not very good at interviews anyway, and being on Zoom and doing a research interview on Zoom is a pretty bad experience. So I ended up looking for a new career. So I switched my career during COVID. There was I mean, there was no other option, because otherwise I would have been completely jobless for maybe 2 or 3 years. So instead of that, I thought I would just go into software, fix all my past mistakes. I already had a bachelor's in mechanical engineering, and I already learned some C programming when I was in my mechanical engineering, and so I thought, yeah, and I saw that a lot of people were getting jobs in boot camps. So I joined a boot camp in Manchester to get a front-end development job. I was so keen on getting into any kind of software job that I learned JavaScript, and I wanted to get into front-end development, and I learned JavaScript for a few months, but I got kicked out of that boot camp after 1 month, because that boot camp was full of that boot camp is in Manchester, so it's that boot camp had a lot of I don't know, some kind of work mentality. So they had a lot of people who were hating me for, I don't know, being older maybe, or some of them were like promoting a lot of gays and all those things. So they made a lot of gays into tutors immediately. So people who were studying with me actually became mentors and tutors in the same institute soon after they graduated. So it was only a 3-month course, and they were already mentoring people for JavaScript jobs. So I got kicked out of that after 1 month for no reason. Simple, they said you have violent thoughts or something. And I said, what do you mean by violent thoughts? They didn't even explain. They just kicked me out. And then I called the Citizens Advice Bureau, and they told me that you can just call them, just tell them that you're going to sue them or something, give them a notice. And I gave them a notice, and immediately they gave me back the money. Like, they had taken $6,000 pounds from me, and they wanted to keep all the money. So I said, give me back my money, or I'll sue you for kicking me out of the course. So they just gave me like the remaining money after deducting 1 month's fees. So I guess it was a good thing that they kicked me out, because then I started learning Java instead of JavaScript. I did some courses in JavaScript, which was quite interesting. Like, I learned React, I learned MongoDB and React, MongoDB and Node.js and all those things. It was a good entry for me into software development. And then I got, joining that bootcamp was very good for me, because I learned GitHub and Git and all those Linux and how to set up your computer, and which I would have never done it if I had done it by myself. I would not have known what to do, how to install stuff and things like that. But now it's very easy to install stuff. Installing stuff is not difficult at all. But that first inertia, which is where you really don't know anything at all, that's like having the basic idea about software development, and it was like a gateway or like entry for me into software development. And that's why I really liked it. And and there was a lot of young girls in the class, so I guess I was much older than them. So I think the guys were getting a bit jealous or something, and they were saying that they were probably not happy with me being like older than them, and also like I'm a big rival, like a competition for them in that class. And somehow they were getting butthurt about little things that I was doing, and they thought I was flirting with them or something like that. And then they, at one fine day, after 1 month, they just kicked me out. And it's just institutional racism, which very popular in Britain. Act like nothing happened, and just slowly, like a constructive dismissal, that's what you call it. You just do little things every day, step by step you kick them out. So do one thing every day, like a little small step by step. Don't give up. They just keep pushing them down and down and down and down, and one day you can just kick them out and nobody will notice. So first give a dog a bad name and hang it. So that's it. So basically they will there's a lot of narcissists in this kind of coding boot camps. Some of them are probably not really that smart as well, but so to make up for that, they have to abuse people and get some pleasure out of treating acting like they kicked someone out because I was bad or something. So they are good. So that's how they prove that they always need a scapegoat. So with that, I then I started learning Java myself at home, and then I started doing some code certifications in Java. And I did 2 certifications, Java Associate, Oracle Certified Associate, and Oracle Certified Professional. And then I started applying for jobs. I applied for 500 jobs and went for 15 interviews and got 1 job, and I immediately said yes to it, and simple as that. So And even now, today I've got 2 job offers. So I got very upset. I got very anxious because of these 2 jobs coming at the same time. If I had just one job, I would not have been so anxious. But getting 2 jobs at the same time is like, that's why they say a bird in hand is worth two in the bush. So that's why I signed the contract and forgot about the other job, because they're probably going to send me the offer letter maybe later this week, and probably they're also going to ask references and all those things. So I don't know when, if I'll sign it or not. Maybe I'll sign it at some point, but I've already signed this contract, so I'll be going to Reading. I've got 20 days to move to the new place, and my joining date is 22nd. So with that, I will so that's my news for today. I've signed the contract. I should be very happy. In fact, I was very happy when I had the only job, but when I got the second job, that's when I got really anxious and felt like, okay, what if this is better, what if that is worse? So that's the problem that we have in life, is always a bird in hand is worth two in the bush. So always remember that. Be grateful for what you have, and don't cheat. Like, you're cheating right now. What you're doing is you're cheating. I'm cheating on this employer by also considering that employer. So that's what creates the stress in our brains. Like, that's a major problem of today's modern living, and even living in Britain or in a modern developed country. That's why people are unhappy, because there's too many choices and people don't take one choice and stick with it, and because there are so many. And that's also designed by the elites so that people are unhappy all the time. You have a car, I have a car, but someone has a better car, so that makes you unhappy, because I'm very happy that I have a car, but you should be very happy. But the fact that others have better cars than you makes it a very bad situation. So controlling your, like, being grateful for what you have, centering your mind, being settled inside your head, and being happy with yourself will be the biggest challenge. And I mean, that's going to get even worse in the future, because I think it's the same with everything, like getting jobs, or even finding a partner, or going on a dating site and finding so many options, not sure who to pick, and you get so frustrated that you don't want anything, you just want to be single. That's something like that. So many options, so many ways to make money, so much money, and it's like you have so many options that you don't know what to do. That's the problem with the developed world, or the West. That's what you call it. So that's the problem with capitalism. And yeah, so at least now I've signed it, and still I have some kind of itching feeling inside my mind. Like, there was a conflict inside my mind, a very strong conflict for a couple of days, because I was very happy I got the first job, but the second job, when I got it, I got even happier. I felt like I had reached like a cloud 9. It was then I started getting conflicts, because you have to drop one, you can't take both. That's the problem with the world. Like, you can be offered many things, but you can only take one at a time. So that's the problem. So yeah, it feels bad, because well, I have weighed my options, and basically the job in Oxford obviously has higher revenue. Like, last year it had a revenue of 17 million. This year the revenue for in the same year, the revenue for the gambling company was 5 million. So the company, so the digital preservation companies actually has very big clients, like banks, HSBC, like banks, museums. They also have some big American clients, like Museum of Natural History, some New York or somewhere, and so many, like, arts, some London School of Arts or something, and yeah, they all want to preserve their digital art or digital assets. So that's almost like a art, art museum. You're basically like preserving art collections. So you are bound to make more money because you are actually like saving antiques. Like you're basically like holding all these treasures safe for them. So you obviously will make a lot of money, and your clients will be high class, very um, elite clients who are into art and um, sophisticated people. So to have those as your clients is already a big thing, because you're and they only have given them the project is because they are from Oxford, and Oxford has a brand name. So the brand name of Oxford is not a simple joke, and probably that's the only reason they've given me the job, is because I have in my CV I have Cambridge, because I was in Cambridge for 2 years, and people in Oxford have some kind of rivalry with Cambridge, but at the same time they also like the people from Cambridge, because Oxford and Cambridge are the only two like sisters in the whole of UK, and the rest of the UK is just like Stone Age. Like they don't give a shit about the rest of the UK. So Oxford and Cambridge, they are so elite that they have no respect for the rest of the UK. So that's the big problem with, not a problem, but that's how it is. And they are really cool as well. The rich people from Oxford and Cambridge, they are extremely cool, and they are living in a different planet altogether. And yeah, so they have very well planned lives, and they have all their high class living, and I guess they have their big bank accounts and shit like that. So yeah, so that's what attracted me to this Oxford job. The gambling thing is, it's not really for me. The gambling thing is not a main issue. I don't really care about the gambling thing. For me, it's the fun thing about designing games. If I learn how to design games, and if I learn how to do fintech trading platforms, which also is what that company is doing, um, then I can learn how to do it myself. Maybe someday I can make my own games, make my own trading platforms. Yeah, I can do it if I. Of course, it's very difficult. These are huge code bases, like each from the presentation that he gave, the CEO, the German guy who lives in Spain. He said that each of these games platforms have 1 million lines of code, so you can't really build one by yourself, one in 1 month, and just create it yourself. There will be thousands and thousands of lines of code you have to build, and probably most of them are also pretty complicated, and waste of time if you try to go on building yourself. That's why you need a huge team of people to build these things and maintain these things. So that's one thing I learned about these two jobs. So what's the plan for tomorrow? So today I did my arms workout. So one day will be break for tomorrow. Then on next day I will start my leg workout again. And I probably have just exactly 1 week to stay in this town probably, and I also have to book a van for taking all my stuff to Reading or wherever I go. Most probably I'm going to Reading 90%, because at this point I probably have to decide on Reading, because yeah, if I say no to them now, it will be really shitty. And usually what I would say is, the first people who actually came to me, I have to be grateful to them, because I'm using them to go to find the second one. So you're using them as a stepping stone. So that's like cheating. Yeah, it's like a it's like the ugly guy has been trying to date the girl for a long time, and finally the girl uses him as a emotional support, and then finally goes for a different guy. So it's like that's like the nice guy versus the bad guy. So it's like women always dump the nice guy, even though the nice guy has been with them for a whole lifetime, but they finally go for the bad guy who finally dumps them. So that's what I thought, because that's what usually happened to me in my life before. Like, I took Cambridge as the option, and I was dumped by Cambridge after 2 years. So simple as that. Be grateful for people who have given you the job, the first job. Don't use them to get the second job. So that's how I should behave. Although in this case I had already set up interviews back to back on the same week. So first day was this job, second day was this job, and both of them had different rounds almost coinciding with each other. So I had to go through 3 or 4 rounds, first round, second round, one after the other, and it was a complete full lengthy process. So in this case I have not used any of them, but yeah, in this case I would say I've not actually used any of them, but it's just that I was in a flow of interviews. I was getting so many interviews that I happened to be getting jobs like crazy. Like, when you go into the flow of things, when you start doing interviews, you get better at speaking in the interviews, and you learn from your mistakes from the first interview, like what questions they might ask, and be prepared for this. And yeah, then you start enjoying the process of interviews. That's when you actually are in the flow. When you start enjoying the interviews and learn from the mistakes, that's when you actually start getting jobs. It's like the interview process itself is a learning process. So that's when you get interested in the subject topic itself. But until that, you are very happy being in a job, nothing to learn, do your 9 to 5, do your same coding problems every day, which have no real depth in terms of learning the coding stuff, getting the big picture, but more very specific things which really don't matter a lot to the coding as such. But yeah, everything is a learning process. Even when you're working in coding, software is a great place to be in, and you learn something every day, and everything that you learn is actually worth it, and you will be getting back everything. It's like good karma. Doing software is like good karma. You just always it all comes back to you in a good way. But not the same in science, because science is being actually writing some stupid papers in some stupid journals, and learning some obscure scientific stuff which nobody wants to know anything about, and you will be the only one who knows about it for the next 100 years, and nobody will ever care about it. So that's why when you pick a PhD topic, it's important that you pick the right topic which is popular and which is hot, and which people are interested in, not going to something because you got a job or you got a stipend. Yeah, it's too late anyway. I already finished half my life. I'm 44, and I jumped around into so many jobs in science that they don't give you a lot of time to stick around in science, because if you stick around almost 10 years in the same subject in science, you can become a professor or something like that, and they don't allow you to stick around in the same subject for a long time, because there's a lot of assholes around who will kick you out of the contract and things like that. So it's it's people using each other and using you like a slave. That's it. And all the work that you do will only be used by a professor, and the professor will be some kind of narcissist who is spending his entire life in that some subject, and he might not even be really getting anything, doing any reading at all. Like, he will be just sitting in his house sometimes, and getting old and nothing to do, but his students report to him every day, and that's what he really loves. When the students report to him every day, he gets some kind of pleasure from it, and that's what being a boss is all about. You don't have to do any work. all the slaves do the work for you. The PhD students are like absolute slaves. The daily progress that they give to the professors is like food for the soul for the professor, because without that the professor cannot survive. It's the same for any supervisor or a manager role in any company. The happiness that you get from work is actually when you report it to your boss, that same happiness is transferred to that boss. So your job satisfaction is actually directly being transferred to your superior. So that's why you will always keep getting jobs if you enjoy your job, but actually your joy is being transferred to that person above for without any effort. So he's put zero effort in it. He will let you do the job as long as you want, as long as you don't go against him in some way. And if he senses the smallest amount of threat from you, like you're a competition or something, like you are getting too much pleasure, and sometimes he might not be getting that pleasure, he might not be understanding what you're doing or things like that, he might get anxious about it, and that's when you get kicked out. So yeah, so sometimes you learn the stuff so much that you become better than your boss, and then the boss will start to kick you out. That's simple as that. So that's the law for that's my continuous that's the reason for my continuous looking for new jobs for the past few years. And yes, so I'll stop my talk now. What's my plan for tomorrow? So what am I feeling right now? Still very feeling a bit what am I feeling right now? Feeling a bit empty because I have to leave this place and go to a new place. So that emptiness and that feeling of something coming to an end in this place. Although this place I have not really attached myself to it in any way. I only used to go to the gym every day, and so leaving this place has absolutely no meaning for me, and going to the new place has absolutely no meaning for me. For me, it's just a very well developed country, and I can go anywhere and find a supermarket anywhere and get some good cheap food everywhere and get a nice place to rent everywhere. And so for me it's absolutely meaningless. So in terms of materialistic goals, I'm happy, that's all. So I can stay away from trouble, I can pay my bills. Yeah, so in a way I'm feeling okay, because my bills are being paid for the next at least few months, and that's what I'm feeling okay about. And for the past few days I was feeling very anxious because I had no job in sight. I did not know when I was going to get the job, but now I have the job, and I was trying very hard for it for the last 2 months. As you can see, every day I was coming and talking about my job search process, and I applied for almost 700 jobs. So now I found the job, and yeah, it seems like I'm not really becoming positive in my mind. My mind is filled with a lot of shit, actually, like all the things on the news and all the news is not really good these days, and the stock market, and usually the trading account actually destroys my peace sometimes, like the loss in the trading accounts. If you lose some money on the trading account, you always end up having a bad mood and a bad day. So it's almost like a gambling addiction. You go and lose some money and you feel so bad, you're not happy, and yeah, that's there's some kind of dissatisfaction with life in general when you are gambling and you want to make money and you're not able to make money. And yeah, so that's the main concern for me, is that whenever I'm losing money on a day, I have a bad days, because that although the rest of my life is going amazingly well, this one thing which I'm losing the trading account, which absolutely has no, I've not lost any money. It's just a fictional trading account. It's not really real money. It's just, but if I win the challenge, I can get a live account and then I can get real money. But this is a challenge. It's a challenge account, assessment account. So when I lose that money, I feel bad. I don't know. It's just like that. So I have to, yeah, somehow, yeah, that's what it basically destroys your emotional peace. Yeah, it's losing money makes you, money is almost like your emotion. I think somehow it's connected to your emotions. Losing even fictional money, even, yeah, you're close to losing your account. That's the problem. Yeah, so losing money is what makes you unhappy, and that's how you learn to be more disciplined. I guess this feeling bad is actually your subconscious mind learning some lessons deep inside, and trying to make some conclusions and come up with some better strategies. Like your mind is constantly making some reprogramming to fix your bad trading habits. So with that, it's very cold now, so it's very strange. For the last whole week was very hot, and it was so hot that I had to buy a fan from Amazon for 12 pounds, and I only used that fan for one day, and now it's all very cold and cloudy. And at this time, it used to be very sunny, and now it's all cloudy. The clouds are so dark now. I'm actually starting to, yeah, now I'm starting to feel like I'm going to get sick because it's so cold. And my weight now is 93 kgs, and my tummy is pretty big at the moment. I don't know how to fix that, but I'll keep up my 1 mile run every day, so that should automatically fix my tummy issues. My belly is pretty big now. My weight should somehow go down. 93 kgs is not good. And also, yeah, maybe it's good. I don't care anymore. So it's just somehow I have to get a six-pack, and that was my goal for a long time. But I ran too much. I did too much abdominal abs, and that actually made me very frail and almost like very slim. But I was 85 kgs, and my face looked like a very sunken cheeks and things like that. So I'll have to join a new gym when I go to the new place. And yeah, the new job is 3 days in the office. I don't know how well I'll be able to manage that, because I really enjoyed working from home, because I could wake up at 9 a.m. every day, but now I have to be in the office maybe at 9 a.m. every day, so that's the problem. It's not a problem. I probably have a free breakfast, at least in the Reading job. I'll have a free breakfast every day, and apparently they also have free coffee and tea, so at least I'll be so happy to get some free breakfast every day, which is pretty ridiculous that I'm, even at this age, I'm trying to get free breakfast. But yeah, that's one of the perks of that job. They have free breakfast, and they also have some fruits or something every day, which I can enjoy, and free coffee and tea, of course. So some perks, yeah, that's a good thing. And hopefully everything will go well, and I'll keep making more progress. I'll need to learn a lot of things maybe for my new job. I probably will do some tutorials for some other stuff, and yeah, so I guess I'll have a lot of things to learn. I'll go through the tech stack that the people are using and learn each and everything to at least to some basic level, so that the new job don't treat me like like I am a child or something. So anyway, so with that I will now finish my talk, and it's already 40 minutes. I will head home. Overall the day has been not so bad. In my current job I got some good uh, email from my HR, who used to be a bit bitchy to me, but I guess she was contacted by the job referees, by the new job security people, like not the security, like the referencing people. So now she knows that I've got a job, and so she's treating me better maybe, and she's modified my references as I requested, and she's giving references, and I also signed my termination agreement and I sent it to her. And I also put the whole week as a vacation for this week. I hope they will accept my thing. I don't know how much time I've left for my vacation. I have been taking like 1 or 2 days, like in the last month, every week, 1 or 2 days every week. So I probably had like 11 days vacation, and this week would be 5 days vacation. I don't know how many I have left. If they say there's no more left, then I will say okay, I'll do some work. Give me some work. They don't give me any work, and they also want me to fill up some timesheets. I don't know what they want me to do. Maybe do some training courses or something. I'll say I did this training course for your company, and I enriched myself as an employee for you in the last 5 days of my contract. And so yes, thank you for that. Okay, so maybe I can do that. I'll do some training course if possible, if they ask me to do that. If not, I will have to figure out what I can do. I'll wait for some emails or wait for some messages from my client, from our customer, if they have some bugs to fix, and I'll do that. I have to first rent a van. I have to also finalize my new house where I want to live. The houses are much more expensive than here. This place was much cheaper, but the new houses there will be slightly expensive, almost double. So it makes up for the new salary that I'm getting, which is slightly more than what I'll get, which like pays the rent for me. So yeah, with that it's very cold now. It's a good time to go home and have a heavy hot shower, and eat some chicken with oats, and that's it. I will start making plans for my next destination. So see you tomorrow.